In Earth's deepest waters, researchers have documented phenomena so strange and unexplained that they challenge our fundamental understanding of what's possible in our planet's most remote environment. 7 miles beneath the Pacific surface, in a realm where crushing pressure and eternal darkness should create a predictable, sterile environment, scientists have encountered mysteries that defy explanation. We're not talking about unknown species or unusual geological formations. These are phenomena so bizarre they've left marine researchers questioning the very nature of deep-sea physics and biology. Most people assume that extreme environments like the Mariana Trench would be simple, predictable places where harsh conditions limit complexity and mystery. The reality couldn't be more different. The deeper we explore, the more enigmatic discoveries emerge, each one more puzzling than the last. What makes these mysteries particularly compelling is their consistency. Multiple independent expeditions have documented similar unexplained phenomena, ruling out equipment malfunctions or observational errors. These aren't isolated incidents, they're recurring anomalies that suggest we're missing fundamental pieces of the deep-sea puzzle. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from and how the weather is treating you today. While you're experiencing the familiar world of the surface, remember that just miles beneath the nearest ocean, mysteries are unfolding that challenge everything scientists know about deep-sea environments. Today we're investigating the most perplexing discoveries from our planet's deepest frontier, phenomena that have left researchers with more questions than answers and hint at processes operating in the deep ocean that science has yet to understand. Among the most disturbing mysteries are the unidentified acoustic signals recorded from the trench's depths. Deep-sea monitoring equipment has captured low-frequency sounds, metallic pings, and rhythmic pulses that have no known source or explanation. These aren't the familiar sounds of geological activity like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. The acoustic signatures are too regular, too structured, and too localized to be explained by known geological processes. Some recordings reveal complex patterns that suggest organized activity of unknown origin. The sounds occur at depths where no known biological activity should be capable of producing such acoustic signatures. The pressure and conditions at these depths exceed the limits of any documented life forms capable of generating significant sound patterns. Marine acoustics experts have analyzed these recordings extensively, comparing them to known sources of underwater noise including ship traffic, military sonar, seismic activity, and biological sounds. None of these known sources match the characteristics of the mysterious trench signals. Some of the most puzzling recordings include sequences of metallic clanging sounds that seem to follow mathematical patterns. The regularity and complexity of these sequences suggest artificial origins, yet no human technology operates at these depths in the locations where the sounds originate. The acoustic mysteries extend beyond individual sounds to include areas of the trench that appear to be acoustically dead, regions where sound behaves differently than physics predicts. Sonar signals sent into these zones sometimes fail to return or return with characteristics that don't match the known properties of water and rock. Visual mysteries represent another category of unexplained phenomena. Multiple deep-sea expeditions have captured footage of massive, indistinct shapes moving through the water at depths where no known organisms of such size should exist. These shadow-like forms appear to be far larger than any documented deep-sea creatures, sometimes estimated at lengths exceeding 100 feet. The shapes move with purpose and coordination, ruling out explanations involving debris or geological materials. The creatures, if that's what they are, remain at the edge of camera lighting ranges, never allowing clear documentation of their physical characteristics. This behavior seems almost deliberate, as if the entities are aware of observation attempts and actively avoid detailed documentation. When submersible crews have attempted to pursue these shapes for closer observation, the entities consistently disappear into the darkness faster than pursuit vehicles can follow. Their movement capabilities exceed those of any known deep-sea organisms. What's your take on these mysterious observations? What unexplained deep-sea phenomenon intrigues you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below and I'll research it for a future episode. The seafloor of the Mariana Trench contains formations and markings that defy conventional explanation. Precise geometric patterns have been discovered etched into sediment layers, displaying regularity and organization that natural processes shouldn't produce. These formations include perfect spirals, straight lines extending for hundreds of meters, and geometric shapes arranged in patterns too complex and regular to be explained by current or geological activity. The precision of these markings suggests intentional creation by unknown processes. Some of the most puzzling formations appear to be recent, carved into sediment layers that show no signs of significant age or weathering. This suggests ongoing activity creating these patterns, yet no known geological or biological processes can explain their formation. Deep-sea cameras have documented areas where sediment appears to be systematically disturbed in organized patterns, creating landscapes that resemble agricultural fields or construction sites more than natural seafloor environments. The chemical composition of water samples from certain areas of the trench contains unusual isotopic signatures and trace elements that don't match the expected chemistry of deep seawater. These anomalous readings suggest unknown chemical processes operating in isolated regions of the trench. Some water samples contain concentrations of rare earth elements and unusual molecular compounds that shouldn't exist in deep-sea environments. The chemistry of these samples resembles laboratory-created materials more than naturally occurring seawater. The isotopic ratios of certain elements in these anomalous water samples suggest nuclear processes or radioactive decay patterns that don't match known geological sources. This implies the presence of materials or energy sources not accounted for in current models of deep-sea chemistry. Temperature measurements in specific areas of the trench reveal thermal anomalies that can't be explained by known hydrothermal activity. These regions show temperature variations that follow patterns inconsistent with geological heat sources. Equipment malfunctions represent another category of unexplained phenomena. Sophisticated deep-sea instruments experience systematic failures when deployed in certain areas of the trench, yet identical equipment functions normally in other deep-sea environments. Electronic systems fail in patterns that suggest external interference rather than pressure or corrosion damage. Navigation equipment, communication systems, and recording devices malfunction simultaneously in ways that indicate coordinated disruption of electronic systems. The malfunctions often occur in conjunction with other anomalous phenomena, suggesting possible connections between the various categories of unexplained events. This correlation implies systematic causes rather than random equipment failures. Recovery of failed equipment sometimes reveals physical damage patterns that don't match known sources of deep-sea equipment degradation. The damage appears to result from exposure to forces or conditions not present in normal deep-sea environments. Like these mysterious deep-sea phenomena, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support helps Ancient Underwater Mysteries continue investigating these incredible unexplained discoveries. Each subscription means the world as we explore the unknown mysteries of our planet. Biological anomalies include the discovery of organisms in locations where they shouldn't be able to survive, and the absence of expected life forms in areas that should support diverse ecosystems. Complex multicellular organisms have been found at depths and in chemical conditions that exceed the known limits of biological survival. These discoveries challenge fundamental assumptions about the environmental constraints on life. Conversely, some areas of the trench that should support abundant life based on available energy sources and chemical conditions appear to be completely sterile, lacking even the microbial communities found throughout other deep-sea environments. The distribution patterns of deep-sea life in certain trench regions don't follow expected ecological relationships. Predator-prey ratios, population densities, and species diversity show patterns that contradict established principles of deep-sea ecology. Magnetic field measurements in the trench reveal anomalies that suggest the presence of materials or energy sources with unusual magnetic properties. These readings don't match the expected magnetic characteristics of deep-sea sediments or oceanic crust. Some areas show magnetic field strengths that fluctuate in patterns resembling artificial signals rather than natural geological variations. The regularity and complexity of these magnetic anomalies suggest organized sources rather than random geological processes. Gravitational measurements in specific trench locations reveal minute but consistent variations that can't be explained by known mass distributions in the seafloor or underlying geological structures. These gravitational anomalies suggest the presence of dense materials or void spaces not accounted for in geological surveys. Time-lapse photography from fixed monitoring stations has captured changes in seafloor topography that occur far more rapidly than geological processes should allow. Large features appear and disappear over periods of days or weeks rather than the millennia typically required for geological change. These rapid topographical changes don't correlate with seismic activity or known geological processes. The modifications appear to be systematic rather than random, suggesting directed alteration of seafloor features by unknown mechanisms. Communication disruptions affect both surface vessels and submersible operations when working in specific areas of the trench. Radio communications, satellite links, and acoustic communication systems experience interference patterns that don't match known sources of electromagnetic or acoustic disruption. The interference often coincides with other anomalous phenomena, suggesting possible connections between various categories of unexplained events. This correlation implies systematic causes affecting multiple types of equipment and observations simultaneously. Recent expeditions have documented what appear to be artificially created void spaces within the trench walls, cavities with geometric shapes and smooth surfaces that don't match natural cave formation processes. These voids appear to be deliberately engineered rather than naturally formed, yet they exist at depths and in locations where no known technology could create such features. The purpose and origin of these spaces remain completely unexplained. Sediment analysis from areas surrounding unexplained phenomena reveals mineral compositions and crystal structures that don't match the expected geology of the trench environment. These anomalous materials suggest exposure to conditions or processes not accounted for in current geological models. What aspect of these deep-sea mysteries intrigues you most? The unidentified sounds, the massive shadow creatures, or perhaps the geometric seafloor patterns? Comment below and share which phenomena you find most compelling. The cumulative evidence from multiple independent sources suggests that the Mariana Trench hosts phenomena that operate outside our current understanding of deep-sea physics, chemistry, and biology. These aren't isolated anomalies but consistent patterns of unexplained activity. The mysteries persist despite increasingly sophisticated monitoring equipment and observation techniques. Each new technological advance in deep-sea exploration reveals additional unexplained phenomena rather than providing solutions to existing puzzles. The implications of these discoveries extend beyond marine science to fundamental questions about what processes might be operating on our planet that remain completely unknown to modern science. The trench appears to be a laboratory for phenomena that challenge our basic understanding of natural laws. As exploration of the Mariana Trench continues, the list of unexplained phenomena grows longer rather than shorter. Each expedition adds new mysteries while failing to solve existing ones, suggesting that the deep ocean holds secrets far more complex than anyone anticipated. The mysteries of the Mariana Trench remind us that our planet still harbors unknowns that could fundamentally change our understanding of natural processes. In Earth's deepest waters, the familiar becomes alien, and the impossible seems to become reality. These unexplained phenomena stand as evidence that despite our technological advances and scientific knowledge, the deep ocean continues to guard secrets that may be more extraordinary than anything we've yet discovered. The mysteries persist, waiting for future explorers brave enough to seek answers in the crushing darkness of our planet's deepest frontier.